And in Maryland, the Department of Natural Resources received some exciting news. They're going to be receiving some money for oyster restoration projects.
Yeah, DNR says those efforts are vital to the health of the Chesapeake Bay. 47 ABC's Anissa Lopez spoke with one of the department's leaders and has more details about the funding.
$800,000 for the next 4 years will go to the Maryland Department of Natural Resources.
It supports larval production at the Horn Point Oyster Hatchery. We're all working together to restore 5 large-scale oyster sanctuaries.
The Maryland Congressional Delegation announced federal dollars coming through NOAA Fisheries to support the placement of spat-on-shell or oyster larvae on up to 100 acres of reefs and tributaries of the Chesapeake Bay that will help restoration efforts.
So the goals are really to improve the brood stock, increase the population, and get a robust oyster population on the bottom.
Michelle Dietz with the Nature Conservancy says in partnership with other organizations, one of the largest restoration projects was completed, studying the impacts of the oyster.
The oysters that were included in this Harris Creek Restoration Project had the potential to remove 1 million pounds of nutrients over a decade.
Chris Judy with Maryland's Department of Natural Resources says funding like this doesn't go unnoticed, especially when projects can be costly.
When you have a tributary that has 100 acres to be restored, 200, 300, these per acre values, which are very doable, very manageable, add up to a large sum. And these are 3, 4, 5-year projects in some cases.
But while the support is welcomed, one person we spoke with hopes going forward, funding will spill into other areas as well.
I think the oyster industry, the aquaculturists, and the environmental community, or those working in the restoration arena, I think we really need to work together on getting oyster shells for Maryland. We have a tremendous lack of oyster shell availability here in Maryland.
Anissa Lopez, 47 ABC, WMDT.
I don't know about you, Jordan, but I want an oyster now.
No.
Chris Judy with DNR adds that the department tries to look at oyster restoration as a balanced approach.
Yeah, and Judy says that this means not just focusing on projects for sanctuaries or fishery or aquaculture, but rather all 3 of them together. And you can find all the details of this oyster restoration project on our website. Head on over to 47abc.com.